Hi guys, Craig here and welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I'm out and about camping in my caravan, and we're parked in a spot which is quite covered in trees, as you can see, and the sun's over there behind the clouds. Now, I've got quite a lot of solar on top of my caravan, but that's not going to do us much good in this situation. So that's why I carry portable panels that I can put out as and when required. Now, I've just noticed what I've done when I've set this up. So that's a 300 watt panel, and those panels are in parallel, meaning there's 4 panels there, and that's all positives to negatives, keeping it at around 20 volts. But this panel, I've got it configured slightly different, and I can't change that while I'm out on the road unless I go and buy some supplies to change. But I've got them in series parallel. So I've got 2 panels seriesed up. So that's giving those 40 volts open circuit thereabouts. So what do you think happens? I've got both of these panels plugged into a Victron 150 MPPT. Just before I get to there you go there. So positive to negative joined together, down to an Anderson plug, paralleled in, and then you've got an Anderson plug running off over here, and that plugs into the side of my caravan. So just showing you what we've got on the screen here. As you can see, we've got a voltage of, it's fluctuating between 18, 17 volts there, as you can see, and the battery voltage is only 13.37. So the battery's charging, but it's only charging with 2.7 amps. So 39 watts, not very much at all because of the cloud cover we've got today. Now, can you run a parallel series panel with a standard parallel panel? So 20 volts open circuit, roughly 40 volts open circuit. Then they come back into an Anderson wire adapter there, as you can see, and I've paralleled them together. Ideally, no, you probably shouldn't do it. But in the real world, yes, you can do it. So what happens is, it'll drop down to the lowest voltage panel, and you're not going to get the full output of both panels when you've got them like this. Does it matter on a day like today? Well, I'd say it does, because you're still going to get more by putting 2 panels out than if I just left one in the back of the ute. So I just wanted to show you what happens. Okay, so I'll disconnect the panel at 20 volts, and you'll see now the voltage is coming up and it's finding its maximum power point, and you'll see there we go, it's around 30 volts, getting 23 watts. So absolutely terrible. But if I plug the other panel back in, bear with me, you'll see the voltage will drop back down because it's going to drop it down to the lowest voltage panel. It'll find its maximum power point based on the lower voltage, and it's settled in at around 35 watt. I'll disconnect the 40 volt panel now, and as you can see, 18 volts, 20 watts. It's quite fine to do that, guys, so don't worry too much about it. If people say you can't do it, this is the real world and you can do it. Now, what I also wanted to show you is, on my particular caravan, okay, you can see here I've got 3 panels, and they're in series, 90 watts each, giving 270 watts, but it's only putting out 5 watts or 8 watts of the total 270 available. Then I've got a further 6 panels, and they're in 3 in series parallel together, so 6 panels in total. And you can see there I'm only getting 26 watts. So a really crappy day. So regardless of how much you have up here on the roof, this is going to be typical when you're outdoors and you're going to be parked in a campsite where I think you're going to really need a portable panel. So this is not an output test at all, guys. This is just showing you what happens when you parallel panels. That's 40 volts open circuit and 20 volts open circuit, plugged into a 150 MPPT. Still works fine. Well, here comes the sun a little bit through the cloud, and then that should have brought up our output. So let's just find it. When it loads, taking its time, yeah, 51 watts. So absolutely terrible. Now, if you took the separate amounts of both of what those panels are outputting and put them into separate solar charge controllers, you would get more wattage out of them. Now, I also wanted to point out what's happening here with the total yield today. So this is the 6 by 140 watt panels, give me 840 watt on the roof of the van. And you can see the maximum yield today is only 370 watt hours with a maximum wattage of 279 watts. Now, if you compare that to the other panels, so let's have a look at the 390 watt panels. Bear with me while that loads up. Okay, and look at the detailed history on that. Today, you can see we've generated only 220 watt hours with a maximum of 137 watts. So not really much solar there when I've got over 1100 watts worth of solar on the roof. So when you think of that as combined with over 1100 watts on the roof, that's terrible. And again, it's because we're in the trees, guys. Now let's go back and have a look at the portable panel. Now we've been out today and come back, and so the panels I haven't been chasing the sun all day. I've just sat them where they are, and I walked away. So we looked at the detailed history on that. So you've got a maximum wattage of 352, but look at the yield, 1.23 kilowatt hours. Now, in my mind, that's pretty good. So you can see I haven't quite got back today to 100%, but I'm at 93%, and we're still chugging along, getting a little bit of power in. So it's better than nothing. For those interested also in my system, I've got an Orion XS 50 amp DC to DC charger. I've got the shunt, as you can see there. I've got 4 lithium batteries. So these are Victron 200 amp hour lithium, so that gives me 800 amp hours, or a bit over 10 kilowatt hours. There's the portable panel, which we've got outside, and there's the battery temp. And also I've got a battery protector and a servo in there as well, so I just haven't connected them onto this particular iPad before. I have shown my setup in the past, but I've actually changed a few things around now. As you can see, 3 solar charge controllers, the 150/85, which is for the 6 140 watt panels, the 130, which is for the 3 90 watt panels, and the 150, which is for the portable array setup. The Orion XS 50 amp DC to DC there. I actually had to install a larger battery protect on the input side because I've got more than 100 amps. I used to have 100 amp in, 100 amp out, but now I've got a 220 amp battery protect put on there. I changed the bus bar arrangement, added in a new bus bar, and I've added in these MIDI fuse block here for all the devices. So they're really nice. I really like those. So you can put the separate fuses depending on your solar controller and your DC to DC and whatever. So that works really well. And the ever faithful Multiplus 2 12 volt 3000 VA, which is around that 2500 watts. In my mind, about 250 to 300 amps is the maximum at 12 volt. So I'm on the limit here. Personally, if I was to do this again, and particularly because I've got the Victron smart batteries, I would have gone to a 24 volt system and then just used a DC to DC converter for the output on the the 100 amp battery protect there. And the reason I have to use the battery protects is because these smart batteries with Victron require the external BMS, and you hook them up via battery protects. That's probably for a whole nother video to get into. It's a little bit complicated here. And my batteries are underneath the front seat, and I did that specifically because my tow ball weight was very light. So by adding the weight at the front there, that was the best place for me to do it. So there you go, guys. I hope you liked that one. Just a short video to show you that you absolutely can parallel different wattage panels, and don't be too worried about it. Sure, you're not going to get maximum output like I said, but real world it's going to be good enough, and if you've got it, you might as well use it. Thanks guys, and stay tuned for the next one.